Amanfo constituency. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome. I hope you're doing well.
By God's grace.
Everything okay?
By God's grace.
All right. And also Gabriela Tetes, an NDC communications member. Good to see you as well. I think the last time we spoke was some months ago, right?
Last year.
Yes. Last year. Oh, it was actually last year?
Yeah, I haven't been here this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. And here I was thinking it was just a few months ago. I hope you're well.
I'm fine.
All right. We'll start off our conversation with something that came up yesterday. I mean, it's been in the news for about a week or two now concerning the MP for Medina constituency, Francis Xavier Sosu, and the fact that, he led a demonstration in his constituency, and after that the police tried to arrest him. They stated a number of breaches with regards to the demonstration, the fact that there were some roadblocks and also some public properties were destroyed. He resisted arrest and stated that as an MP he is under the Privileges Committee in Parliament, and of course because of that he is accorded some privilege and so would not make himself available to the police for the arrest. The police spoke to Parliament, wrote to the Speaker to allow for Francis Xavier Sosu to assist in investigations, and the Speaker responded saying that you cannot do that because the MP is under the privilege of Article 117, 118 and 122. The latest on this situation is the fact that yesterday ACP Kwesi Ofori spoke to the media after a press briefing with some CSOs, and he mentioned that the MP has been charged on 2 counts, destroying public property and also blocking the roads, and as a result they're expecting him in court on November 8th to answer some questions. Take a look.
The latest is that the police have obtained criminal summons and have been duly served for him to appear in court on the 8th of November.
What are the charges against him?
As we enumerated, obstructing public highway, causing damage, among other things.
In terms of your men who are supposed to appear before Parliament, I mean, what generally does the police think about that particular invitation? And secondly, there's a statement
the invitation has officially not come to the attention of the administration.
But the men
and when that comes, the administration may take a firm decision.
Parliament is raising issues about how you are going about the arrest. I mean, this afternoon they issued a statement saying that they don't think you are using the right procedure.
The future might determine that.
Sir.
All right, and so that is the Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service, ACP Kwesi Ofori, speaking to the media. But even before he spoke to the media, Parliament had released a communique, and it stated that the Speaker was not happy with the gross disrespect being shown him by the Ghana Police Service and the fact that the police service was breaching the law. And the parts where they also commented on that indictment of the bodyguard of the Medina MP, and they said that you're rather breaking their confidence, because if you're asking for him to be replaced by another person, then it means that you are not encouraging these bodyguards to really do what they ought to do to protect the MPs, which is why they were put there in the first place. I'll read a part of the statement shortly, but let me just go straight to my guests quickly and find out from them what they think. I'll start off with Sly Tese because he is currently in Parliament, and a number of MPs have spoken about this issue, and they're all not happy with the way the police is going about this particular situation, even though they are not against the police doing their work. Sly, I'll start with you. What do you say about all of this?
Well, thank you very much, and a very good morning to our viewers, and then my sister here. It's been a very long time. I think it's quite unfortunate, and we've all said so. What is happening to Honorable Sosu can happen to any one of us and anybody at all. It's by the grace of God and the dent of hard work and that we've come where we are. It is not for nothing that members of Parliament are accorded certain degree of privilege in society, just as the executives or the legislature is equally accorded same respect. I mean, it is not a function of anybody's benevolence, but by the function of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, and rightly so. I think that the police knows what to do when you need a member of Parliament to assist in investigations. And for me, this is not the first time a member of Parliament will be assisting in investigations. So it's the same police administration that has handled matters in the past, and they know what to be done. Attempting to arrest a member of Parliament in the melee and a kind of situation that we saw in Medina is quite uncalled for. Don't forget, the police administration has a station, even in Parliament. It's not for nothing that they have a station in Parliament. And there's a proper process that they can file with the Speaker for Speaker to release a member of Parliament to assist in investigations. I think that we've made that point clear, but what I want to say is that we all should strive a common grounds where the public will not see members of Parliament as to be arrogating to themselves powers they don't have or privileges they don't have. I mean, these are clear matters in our statutes or in our constitution that every member of Parliament should be accorded. As I sit here today, I'm not sure my identity is hidden or from anybody. I mean, that is why that privilege is accorded me or any member of Parliament. So we condemn on no uncertain terms the attempt by the police to even disrespect the authority of Parliament by the way they want to go. For me, the police has a right to discharge their obligations to the state, and that should be done in the confines of the law that they seek to enforce. And that is why I think that the Speaker has been quite clear on these matters. Listen, in the 7th Parliament, Honorable Mahama Yariga had to appear before court. Yeah. The court had to sit with the Speaker of Parliament and arrange when it's convenient for a member of Parliament to even appear before court. And that has been done. Honorable Yariga has been going to court. They agreed that, look, there are times Parliament don't sit, so fix your court dates on days that Parliament don't sit within a certain time frame, and the member of Parliament will be allowed to attend upon the court. So, I mean, this has been done. And then I remember other members of Parliament had assisted in police investigations. Honorable Kennedy Japan had assisted in police investigations. And we all continue to collaborate with the police or security agencies too. And especially when a formal request was sent to the Speaker of Parliament, and then the Speaker of Parliament declined. I think that it behoves of the police administration to collaborate more and seek audience with the Speaker for them to deal with this matter rather than now he's been charged. They're asking him to appear before court, even on the 8th. And on the 8th, you may not know. Parliament will be sitting or not, you don't know.
So they should have agreed with the Speaker.
They should have agreed with the Speaker
day?
Because we have a precedent. We have a precedent. On the 7th Parliament, we have a precedent. They should have agreed with the Speaker. And I'm not sure the Speaker, a lawyer, would deny the police administration the opportunity for a member of Parliament to assist in investigation or even stand trial. I mean, this one is clear. So for me, I think that we must not travel the journey we are traveling today. It doesn't help any of the institutions of state to ensure that we discharge our respective obligations to the state. I mean, I think that it could be a common grounds. We've had precedent in this country, and let's go by precedent, and let's go by what is comfortable for all of us, so that the public do not lose their confidence in the administration as we manage the state of affairs. I think that we could have avoided this kind of situation.
Is the police on a wild goose chase? Because yesterday I listened to the spokesperson for the Medina MP, Bansi Abubakar, that's the name of the spokesperson, and that's what he stated, that as at 5:40 there about PM yesterday, they had not received the summons from court to make an appearance in court on November 8th. And so they didn't see why the police decided to go ahead and speak to the media when they had not received an official court proceeding.
Well, I think the court will take cognizance of that. At what time the member is served and all the things that goes with it. So I think that the police had earlier on hinted they were heading to the Supreme Court to proper interpretation of the privileges of member of Parliament as to when a member is on his way to Parliament or not going to Parliament, not attending on parliamentary business. I mean, I think that's a welcoming news, so that it lays this matter to rest. But if they are not there yet and they have gone ahead to charge him for prosecution, I think that, I mean, nobody is above the law. Even the President of the Republic is under the authority of the law, and we reckon that. But the processes are spelled out clearly, and the court also will take cognizance of when the member was served and all that. So you cannot do what we call ambush litigation. It will not fly in the face of the law. So I think that once it's in the court of law, it doesn't lie in anybody's bosom.
Okay.
I mean, it lies in the bosom of the respected judge or the judges who will be dealing with this matter. So everybody should rest assured. I mean, these are things that comes with our democratic processes that I think that it helps to shape it better. And we continue to talk about it to ensure that we all get fair treatment irrespective of where you stand.
Before I come to Gabriela, let's play that video of Mr. Kofi Bentil. He's the vice president of Imani Ghana. And, well, he spoke and said that they are not against the privileges being enjoyed by the MPs, but we should also note that nobody is above the law. So there should not be any discrimination in the way the police discharge their duties. Take a look.
So I would respond this in law. Only the president of this country has immunity. That is number one. Parliamentary immunity was not invented by Ghana or Ghanaians. It is not our constitution that started that tradition. It came from
you had a mic there all along.
United Kingdom and has a long history.
Here.
Basically, it is about protecting Parliament from the sovereign king. In this country today, we don't have a king. The sovereign is the people. So there is nobody to protect Parliament from. That parliamentary immunity is a very narrow immunity for the performance of parliamentary duties. It cannot be reasonably said that a person 24/7, 7 days a week is always performing parliamentary duty. So that fundamental issue should be made clear. Number two, the police have powers of arrest, and those powers are well circumscribed and prescribed in law. And we think that we all must cooperate with that process. However, if there is some sort of confusion about the interpretation of Article 117, which is not a confusion that many of us see, the right place to go is the Supreme Court. We think, respectfully, that the police should be allowed to do their work, and if anybody has a problem, then they should go and seek interpretation from the Supreme Court.
Mr. Kofi Bentil of Imani Ghana speaking there. Gabriela, what do you say to the concerns that he has raised about immunity in this case concerning the MP?
Well, let me say a good morning to you, and my first time meeting Honorable Sly. So, pleasure meeting you. I think that, you see, the concept of immunity granted parliamentarians is for a very good reason. Because in any democracy, it depends on the kind of executive that you have. And this depends largely on the personality of who is president and some people in higher office. And the posturing they take towards members of parliament. So the immunity, more or less, is to shield the legislative members from high-handedness of an executive. And mind you, the police is an extension of the executive, because the vice president is the chairman of the police council. The president is the chairman of the National Security Council, of which the police falls under. Now, you don't want a situation where the police service is used as a tool, as I said, to malign or to attack or to cause any harm or whatever to members of the legislative. So I think that we should respect that immunity. Now, the issue of Honorable Sosu's case, for me, I think that we allow this thing to travel a bit too far, because it appears that the police was not really aware of the procedures of engaging a member of parliament. And I think that it behoves on parliament and the police service to have, as you mentioned, that collaboration, so that they can educate each other on what the procedures for arresting anybody is, because the police have to maintain law and order, and none of us is above that right. And Parliament also has to educate the police service on the procedures by which you can summon a member of Parliament. I'm not going to sit here and say whether what Sosu did was right or wrong, because in actual fact, he was advocating for his constituents.
But the Public Order Act says that if there's any destruction at all of property,
and that's what
or the law is broken, the organizer is held responsible.
They allowed it to go too far, because if he had engaged with the police at the division level and collaborated better with them, they wouldn't have gotten to the extremes where we find ourselves at the moment. But whatever be the case, it has already happened, and now it's gone quite far. How do you remedy this situation? The police have already taken their case to the court. And now it's up to the judiciary to come to whatever verdicts they'll come to on this issue. But I think that the police service and the parliamentary service have to have that communication. Because if you recall, after the 2020 elections, members of the minority group staged a walk to Electoral Commission.
Yeah.
And that was also it was a part of their parliamentary advocacy for the NDC. The police told them that they were in violation of the Public Order Act and all kinds of, even though they have sought permission from the police service in Parliament. So I think they have to have that collaboration so everybody understands the terms of engagement. The current vision or positioning of the Ghana Police Service, courtesy of their new IGP, I mean, he's trying to position the Ghana Police Service in a way that creates a more positive light of the service to all of us. He's trying to position the Ghana Police Service in a way that is seen to maintain actual law and order, irrespective of whether you are high society or you are low society. So I think that looking at where the police service is coming from and the bad image over the years, we shouldn't also bastardize the approach of the police service.
Okay.
Let's rather find communal grounds and see what is the remedy for this. In the speaker's release, he mentioned about the processes should have been served him and then the certificates granted. This communication should have been given to the police long ago. So they should have followed due process.
So this statement came a little late?
So that's why I said we allowed the whole thing to go too far. If he had even given a hint, or Parliament as an institution had given a hint to the police, calling Sosu to come and write a statement or whatever does not mean that you have charged him yet. You see?
But it shouldn't take the speaker to let them know how to operate. I mean, the police service has been.
No, you don't assume that the police know how to relate to Parliament as an institution. All of us are civilians. There are a lot of things about Parliament that we also don't know. Okay, it's always a learning process for everybody. But be it as it may, it's also a learning process also for our democracy. To see how do we handle the immunity of parliamentarians, and also when a member of Parliament has fallen short of the law, how do you marry the two scenarios?
Do you think we need to amend the Constitution 117, 118, and 122 that provides
I think that we rather
privileges?
need clarification on what he means. What 117 provides and what 118 provides.
Why do you say that?
Because if 117 says that you can't have a member of Parliament or a clerk of Parliament when they are on official duty. Now, assuming what reference I made about an executive that wants to use the police to manipulate Parliament, assuming there's a bill before Parliament, and this, now that we have a split Parliament, and this is a very important bill to the government. Now, they could use the police to identify 5 parliamentarians who are on their way to work.
Is laughing.
Because you know that can happen to him. You see, you can have a situation where all they need is to hold 5 NDC MPs from attending to Parliament, and then they'll cast their vote and get their way.
Yeah.
That is why you don't want the police to have that high-handedness and to get involved in the immunity process, because the immunity process is a defense mechanism for Parliament. So amending it, no. I think we should have a clarity on what the limitations of that immunity is. For the sake of their own Parliament. I'm a civilian. Nobody cares much about my going out.
Why are you laughing about this, though?
I'm laughing because of the kind of
scenario that she painted.
No, but he can fall into it.
Well, I think that I've made that point clear that this can happen to any side of the divide, especially how our elections have been in time past. I think that the said piece of act in the Constitution only need Supreme Court interpretation. And I was so happy when the police intimated that they were heading to the Supreme Court for interpretation. I thought we could settle this matter today and in future. But nonetheless, I think that I'm not sure Parliament, as it were, when important bills are being passed and that requires votes being taken, those on the leadership checks, I mean, there are people on official assignment, they will check from both sides, and obviously they will defer it until such a time. If you don't count, that's at your own. I'm not too sure Parliament, we have a very, very good grounds to collaborate on matters of the state. I mean, I did not know that until I get to the House. At the committee level, it's not MPP or NDC, it's a committee's work, and we ensure that we have a common grounds. We agree to disagree, but even that we state our positions clearly, and is captured in every business of Parliament. I think that the country is watching, we are learning, and the police also is asserting its authority rightfully. Nobody is saying any member of Parliament is above the law to say that I will not cooperate with investigation. We haven't said so. I mean, there are members of Parliament today, as I speak, they have been going to court. You remember the Trifo Atimokwa member of Parliament in recent time of an alleged fraud case. I mean, he's been assisting the police in investigations, he's been going to court. There are a couple members of Parliament who have been going to court, who have been assisting police or any security agency to undertake their investigations. So I think that no member of Parliament or the Speaker or even the President can assume that is above the laws of this country. No, but we are looking at the process.
Yeah.
It's a process that we are looking at. How is the process stated in law and how it's being implemented? So when people say that members of Parliament are trying to position themselves to say as though they are above the law, no. I can be invited by the police to assist in investigations of any security agencies for whatsoever in this country. But what we are saying is that the process is that first communicate to the Speaker and let the Speaker give you a certificate or grant you time and frame that this time, looking at the business of the week or the day, it is not convenient to invite the member at this time, or the member at this time will be coming to. I mean, this is the laid down procedure.
What if the Speaker decides that for the rest of the sitting there won't be any convenient time? Then this issue will be deferred to whenever.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure because we have precedent where members of Parliament have been asked to assist police in investigations. Okay. If it had never happened before, then you can say what you are saying. But the situation where members of Parliament had been asked or have been given permission to attend upon investigations of any security agency, I'm not sure we can use that as an example.
Okay, let's look at point 14 of the release from Parliament. And it says that the police service should also not be allowed to use threats of administrative sanctions to make ineffective the Parliamentary Protection Unit by interdicting officers who are lawfully protecting their principles and whose only crime, if any, is to be assigned to protect a member of Parliament. I'll jump to this point that says that the Speaker believes that the action taken by the police service to interdict the bodyguard of the honorable member of Medina could potentially affect the morale of all bodyguards of members of Parliament and weaken the ability of the guards to protect and provide the needed protection for members and Parliament in general. And the Speaker says that he finds this as, to say the least, dangerous and unacceptable. Gabriella, do you agree?
I do agree, and it comes back to the same collaboration between Parliament and the Ghana Police Service Administration.
But you have seen the video of how the bodyguard drove out.
Yes, but irrespective of the behavior of the bodyguard, administrative-wise, the Ghana Police Service should have informed Parliament that we are withdrawing so-and-so's bodyguard for so-and-so reasons. And then Parliament agrees, and then your substitute is replaced immediately. That shift is done seamlessly. So you don't put the parliamentarian or whoever high-profile person is into a security threat situation. But in the case where you withdraw without the notice of Parliament, and especially when these people are assigned specific duties of protection, then you leave the parliamentarian exposed. You see, for the number of days that it takes you to replace that bodyguard. Secondly, the person that you are going to replace as a bodyguard, for the member of Parliament doesn't know this person. It's going to take time for you to get to know the person, agree on the specimen of person that they are offering you and how you can relate to that person. So administrative-wise, again, that collaboration, I think they should work at improving it and see how we can move on in a much more friendlier posturing between the Ghana Police and Parliament.
Sly, finally on this one, so we can move on to the next issue.
I think that is an administrative authority being exercised by the police administration. I mean, when you are given a police protection, you don't have right over administrative procedures of the said police officer or whatsoever. I mean, the police officer was interdicted, and once he's been interdicted, obviously the services are withdrawn. I mean, this is an administrative issue. The protection unit of the police administration for members of Parliament or high-profile members of our society obviously it's in the arms or remit of the police administration. And once the services have been withdrawn, immediately a replacement is done. Obviously, the circumstances under which the officer was interdicted, and if overnight one is replaced, because the said officer was protecting or resisting the arrest of his boss, because you are caught up in a situation where your boss is to be arrested, and in a situation like that, do you protect your boss or you give him away? I mean, I was.
Who do you first owe your allegiance to?
Your allegiance is to your superiors, first of all.
Which is the police.
The police administration. Of course, for me, in the proper circumstance, if the police administration that you recognize, they are not impersonating, they are superiors, and they want your boss, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
You don't have to do that. Because your allegiance, first of all, is to your superiors. In the same way, because you can follow up wherever they are taking your boss and make a formal complaint to your immediate supervisor. But for him to have done what he did, the police administration have every right to interdict him.
Okay.
And we should not impugn any other thing into it.
But the speaker says that was dangerous.
Well, I think that's the speaker's position on the matter, that it can weaken morale. Yes, it's true, it can also weaken morale. It all boils down to the fact that I thought that, look, Honorable Sosu is known. His identity is established in this country. He's a member of parliament. Granted that you want him for staging a demonstration without proper procedure. You just come to parliament and get him to assist in investigations.
No, but they went on a demonstration per proper procedure.
Yes, well, I mean, for whatever the police is seeking to investigate, I think that it does not warrant to arrest him even on the spot. For proper policing and order, if he's a leader of the demonstration, his identity is established. You have a procedure to get him invited and get the same information you are seeking to get. I mean, that's the point I'm making. But for the police officer, we should leave that to the police administration, and the services can be withdrawn at any time. So for that, we should not link the two. I think that the police has a laid down procedure to get the member of parliament invited and assist in investigation.
Okay.
Because, you see, there's a politically motivated demonstration, as it were. As a member of parliament, look, my roles are worse in terms of in Greater Accra. So if members of my community are staging a demonstration, when a member of parliament has a right to go there, speak to them and calm them. Anything can happen. I could be caught up in a situation like this. So if the police hears that Sylvester Tete is at the spot and you want me, you don't jump on me to attempt to arrest me on the spot. Right? So with all this, I'm saying that the police knows what to do, and they've done it before. Okay. And let's go by that laid down procedure and get the member to assist in investigation. As to what he did, what he didn't do, we are not in the position to discuss it. Okay. I mean, the law can deal with that. But the process to arrest or to invite him is laid. And that one, everybody should respect it. If there's a lacuna, we know what to do. We just go to the Supreme Court for proper interpretation. And once it's given, it guides all of us going forward, and even Parliament as an institution.
All right. We're hoping to speak to the spokesperson of the MP to get some updates on the situation so far and whether he has officially received a summon. We've not been able to get in touch. So we'll apprise you as we move along. But let's talk now about the Vice President and his digitalization agenda. Gabriela is smiling already. I can't wait to see or hear what she has to say about it. But the Vice President has been speaking, and earlier on Johnny's Bites, he gave you a graph of what some stakeholders have been able to put together with regards to the response from the public. The number of people who think that when the Vice President speaks, it is full of lies. That's about 30% of the people that they sampled. Another 30% of them are not sure if this is going to actually happen with regards to the number of things that the Vice President has said. There's a whole graph to that. If there's time, we'll project it, dear producers. But now we have Sammy Gyamfi speaking, and he's not the only one. A number of people have spoken as well. But Mr. Sammy Gyamfi, who is the Director of Communications, for the NDC, he says that really answers to Ghana's problems is not in digitalization lectures. That's what he said. Let's listen to what the Vice President said, by the way, at Ashesi on Tuesday evening. We'll come back and talk some more.
At the end of the first quarter next year, the Ghana card will be recognized globally as an e-passport and can be read and verified in all ICAO compliant borders. That is 197 countries, 44,000 airports in the world. When this happens, holders of the Ghana card will be allowed to board any flight to Ghana. Furthermore, the good news for diasporan Ghanaians is that when the Ghana Immigration Service is linked to the NIA architecture, and that will be soon, diasporan Ghanaians who hold the Ghana card should not have to obtain visas to return to Ghana.
All right, and if this actually happens, it'll be fantastic. I mean, we've seen how within Europe, you know, some nationals are able to travel with their ID card in lieu of the passports. And also within America as well, you can travel to some states, we're told, with your ID card and stuff. We see that happening even in Ghana, where you can go to Kumasi and all that. But is it possible to actually use your Ghana card to travel internationally? So if you're going to, let's say America is one of the 197 countries that the Vice President is referring to, can you actually use your Ghana card to travel to America in lieu of your passport? Gabriela, I'll start off with you. What do you make of this particular statement by the Vice President?
Very baffling.
Baffling?
Baffling.
Why?
I've been thinking through how you use an e-passport to go through immigration checks. And when he made that statement, I actually posted on my social media page that those with a Ghana card, I want anybody traveling out to attempt to use their Ghana card.
No, but, he gave timelines as to when this can happen.
Even when his timeline is due, it is still not going to happen. You see, in making reference to the United States green card, the U.S. passport is practically the most powerful passport in the world. Because of bilateral relationship between U.S. government and many other nations, people, their citizens, are allowed free entry into many countries, except probably you get a visa on arrival in some. So when they travel and they make reference to their green card, it is because of the power and the influence of the passport that backs that green card. Now, here we are in Ghana. The Ghana card is, you're allowed free movement with the Ghana card within the ECOWAS sub-region because it's an ECOWAS protocol for free movement of goods and persons. Within the broader African Union, except for countries where you have, again, those exchange arrangements like Kenya, Rwanda, then you can go and then visa on arrival procedures apply. Same for if you go to Caribbean, probably like Trinidad and then Jamaica. But the number of countries that Ghana has that bilateral relationship with are limited compared to the U.S. Now, again, for the U.S. green card, when a holder is returning back to the U.S. and you go through border control or even ICE, your card as a tax-paying member of their society shows that you have a permit, even if you're not a citizen, you have a permit to work. So they give you access with your card to enter. Our Ghana card, we are now migrating GRA on Ghana card. How then does a card that does not even have the weight of our Ghana passport allows us visa entry into 197 countries?
He says this would happen in the first quarter. I mean,
so in the first,
hopefully by November, the first quarter of 2022.
Okay, when November 2021, first quarter of 2022 will end in March. So from November till March, can they, with the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, sign bilateral arrangements with 197 countries?
You don't think
to
it's possible?
allow us free entry with our Ghana cards? You see, signing up with the International Civil Aviation Authority doesn't give you a visa automatically into anybody's country. You still have to go to immigration when you get to those airports. So again, that is why I said I find his utterances baffling.
He says we become a member of ICAO, that's International Civil Aviation Organization, and that is what will give us that opportunity to travel around with the Ghana card.
In 2022, first quarter, attempt to travel to even London with your Ghana card. And let's experiment, and then you come back and tell us how it went for you.
Okay. Sly, Gabriela says this is not going to happen.
I'm happy that she said it's baffling, because to the NDC, it's like a rocket science. And what the man said is quite simple. You see, there are countries today that you are qualified for an e-visa. it doesn't mean you don't take a visa. Okay? If you ever travel to India, Turkey, or you have a UK visa or US visa, you can actually apply for a e-visa.
But it's not applicable in 197 countries.
Please, I'm coming. I'm coming. If your Ghana card, we know that your passport is being uploaded on it. All that he's saying is that once your passport is on your Ghana card and can be verified by these countries, if you have your visa, okay, in American system, everywhere you go, they can check your status of your visa on your passport. So when you place your Ghana card down, it's as good as your passport that can verify whether or not you have a visa or otherwise. I mean, don't make it look like the man says that by 2022, by ICAO inclusion, it means you can travel even without a visa. The man didn't say that.
But even if he says with the Ghana card, that's what people are asking.
Yeah, with the Ghana card, it's as good as your passport and will be recognized because your passport status and everything is uploaded on it.
Then you should have added that when
No,
you
but
apply
I mean,
for
the
the
point he's
e-visa.
making, I mean,
the communication he said did not include the e-visa.
No. Do you look, American citizens? Do you think an American citizen can come to Ghana because of the strength of their passport without a visa? No. American citizens cannot walk into a country because of the strength of their passport without visa.
But that's because you
But
don't
please,
have that arrangement.
we can issue. That is what I'm saying. If American citizens come and Ghana has a e-visa issued to the person and can be verified on his American card, it's as good as holding his passport. That's the point the man was making. And that is not record science. Today, if I have my Ghana card and I need a visa to go to Cameroon or Congo, okay? And Congo issues me a visa, a e-visa, that can be recognized by my Ghana card. I don't need to carry my booklet along with me. I just take my Ghana card. When you go to Congo and their system can recognize, and just as if by ICAO can recognize your Ghana card, you can read that you have a visa and you can enter.
If Congo
Should we not have tried this
sophisticated
within Africa to see how
I mean, what it is
feasible this would be before announcing that 197
well, somebody,
countries?
he's saying that by joining and being verified by ICAO, it means their technology can read our Ghana card. Your passport is on your Ghana card. You have been issued a visa that can be read on your Ghana card. What prevents you from traveling with it? I mean, this issue of making mockery as if Ghana is in the Stone Age, that nothing good can come from this country, it baffles my mind.
Is it really about that, or is it also the timelines, which is what
you
is
see, the
baffling
process
people?
for accessing the ICAO platform is ongoing. So today, if you have a US e-visa and it can, or you have a visa from the United States, it can be read on your passport. But the United States has a technology that can read the same visa on your Ghana card. What prevents you from traveling with it?
Okay, Gabriella, you wanted to come in at a point when
So
you
for
were
me,
speaking.
he is saying that until
She
is saying that until we have a diplomatic relationship with a country that does not require a visa. That's not the status of what the president is saying. Look, today, if we have a bilateral agreement with Dubai and South Africa, pretty soon it will kickstart. It will kickstart for Ghanaians to travel. If you go to South Africa or Dubai and you are not a member of ICAO and you place your Ghana card, it will still not read it and will still recognize it. That's the point the vice president is making. So you still need to carry your booklet, okay? Your passport booklet to travel to Dubai or South Africa or anywhere you don't require a visa or a visa-free country.
Okay.
And he's saying that there's a system at the airport by the immigration and all this that can read your Ghana card. That is being done. So your status to enter that country by your passport, the same services can be extended to you by the virtue of your Ghana card. That's a simple interpretation of what the man said.
Okay.
And the assumption also is that all 997 countries have the sophisticated equipment.
But any member of ICAO is not for nothing. Look, it's the same way a United States card, if Ghana is a member of ICAO, can be read here.
Okay.
And somebody from America did not need to carry his American passport. You can carry your American card, citizen's card, and can be read.
So then if we can even travel with the Ghana card, I mean, at this point that we're being told that 197 countries will recognize it by the end of the first quarter, does it mean that we can vote with that as well?
Well,
no need to queue because then we can
it's another
vote.
process. The EC is working. Don't forget, it's not every Ghanaian that has the Ghana card yet. The EC is ultimately, that is where we should get to, that we can be using today. You know that he made mention that from next year, a 1-month-old baby will be assigned a Ghana card number.
Yeah.
When you attain 5 that your biometrics are developed, then you can be given a card. It solves a huge problem in our country. Issues of our football, over age, matters of people falsifying other nationals coming in and all that. It deals with the national data. That is, I think, is remarkable.
Okay.
And people should not belittle this digitalization thinking that the man is just talking. I mean, it's not for nothing. The NDC, this mobile money interoperability, they think is normal. The NDC awarded a contract of 1.2 billion. It took the intervention of this government to bring it down to $4.5 million. You think it's for nothing? It's not worth celebrating?
The NDC says they started the digitalization agenda before you came into power.
It's the same NDC that was in power that today, how many Ghana cards did they issue in the 8 years? Today, we've done over 15.5 million. We've moved our taxable population from 4% to 80% today. You think it's for nothing in 5 years? They had opportunity. They messed it up. That's the point we are making today. So nobody should belittle the issue of digitalization. There's nowhere in the world today any forward-looking country will develop.
Okay.
With an analog system. We are not saying it's a perfect society. The man is just giving an update of the state of our preparedness. Look, when we talk of cybersecurity, Ghana is number 3 on the continent for putting in place measures to combat cybersecurity, and we've been praised for this all over. The point is that it doesn't mean our cybersecurity space is perfect, but we've put in place measures to ensure that we scale it up. So digitalization is a thing that everybody must embrace.
But
so when people talk about and try to belittle it, Dr. Bawumia is just giving. You see, where he delivered the lecture at such a university, I mean, they've been noted for breaking the frontiers of technology to solve societal problems. And they want to know the state of our preparedness or where we've gotten to. And it's just giving an update of where we are. People are reducing the lecture even to an accountability forum, where they expect the vice president to be talking about numbers.
So how many people from the informal sector have been captured on this?
Fantastic. That is where today in Ghana, the number of people, it is not for nothing that government sought to spend money on mobile money interoperability. The unbank of our society, a lot more have been migrated using the mobile money platform. We know that we have a huge informal sector. It doesn't take a day for people to migrate. You take it one step at a time. We know that by QR code, you can buy Wachi without necessarily going to, you can do transactions on your phone and all that. There are a lot of people who obviously will not migrate overnight because of where they belong. So we need to take a step and tell the country that those of you who are not in that bracket, as we are moving, move along with us. We'll take time to migrate everybody going forward. Our tax system, the informal sector, is the biggest we have in this country. But today, we've moved people to a platform that over 80% of our population, we've increased it to about 80% for people that are taxable. Whether you are in the informal sector or the formal sector, you ought to pay your tax. Somebody has to put in the infrastructure. We've been advocating in this country for a very long time that we should do what we call expand the tax net. How do you expand the tax net? You are using technology to expand the tax net.
But that was the focus of NAPCO as well, Revenue Ghana. That's module. They were supposed to go around and ensure that
Revenue Ghana, don't forget we have youth in ICT trying to digitize the process to migrate people. Now, when you register a business, whether informal or formal, you are given a tax identification number. That tax identification number is captured on your Ghana card. So it means you've been captured, your address is known, and then the process of collecting taxes from you is made easier. That's the point we are making.
Okay. Let me let Cookie come in before Gabriella speaks to us. Welcome, Cookie. And if you can please give us the messages.
Moving on to a few messages that have come in this morning First one from Henry in Koforidua. Prince Henry in Koforidua says, we are ready to support IGP Dr. Dampare and the entire police force to bring sanity to our dear country, Ghana, but they must also follow the right channel in inviting the Medina MP rather than making him look like a hardened criminal. Now, why is demonstration turning out to become a crime in Ghana? Is this a true democracy? Demonstration is a global activity where people express their dissatisfaction. Even Anado, before becoming a president, demonstrated on several occasions. So what has changed now? Osman Bukrisong from Tamale is asking, Bala, I don't even know why Ghana police would want to arrest Honorable Sosu at all costs. In fact, they have no business arresting him because the law is clear in the constitution. They should be professionals and be fair in their duties. Mohammed Adamu from Akimodan sent in that one. Good morning, Bala. Tell the police that we are waiting for them to arrest the politicians who promise good roads but end up watching the roads to become manholes and kill people. Power is sweet, but let them know that it is not absolute. They should charge the Medina MP, and we, the constituents, will support him to pay for the so-called distraction to public property. Aram from Adenta News Site sent in that one. Maybe Dr. Baumia has to introduce a digital way of arresting parliamentarians. Honorable Sosu should please avail himself to the police if he has nothing to hide. He should stop hiding in the pockets of Honorable Bagben. Baba Zamo, Dr. Baba Zamo sent in that one from Kintampo. Ayu Faru from Tamale says, good morning. Indeed, the charges against the Medina MP, Honorable Javier Sosu, by the police is unfortunate. The IGP should not allow the political class to overuse him for their parochial political interest. This is very hypocritical on the part of Dr. Kofi Bentil. What happened to Honorable... Okay, I'll skip that one. Maybe this last one I'll take. What about the selective application of the law? Did the police arrest Hawa Kumsin when she brandished a weapon and fired shots at a polling station? It's a selective application of the law that has brought us this far, and if care is not taken, it might worsen. Is Kennedy Japan above the law when he insulted the Supreme Court judge? Well, Mahamaba Kojo from Isuum sent in that one. Bella, back to you.
Thank you so much. Gabriela, I'll bring you in because the issue of Europa has also come up, because if the Vice President is telling us that the diasporans can travel into the country with the Ghana card, and so then clearly this will be easy. We've been waiting for these diasporans to also be able to vote. That issue has not been resolved till now. And they're asking that, so what happens if you tell us that we can travel into the country with the Ghana card? Can we now start voting as well?
You know, during the last registration exercise, they used the Ghana card PIN numbers to do the registration because they wanted this current register, to be like the final register that onboards all other cards that eventually come into the system.
Yeah.
Obviously, the use of the Ghana card then now gives the Electoral Commission more access to more people who are registered to exercise their franchise as Ghanaians. I think that for the Electoral Commission, they have to come up with what the modalities of having people with the Ghana card, whether they are going to give them new voter IDs and then how they are going to vote, or whether there's actually going to be a system developed in the various countries that allows the Ghanaians to vote. But then they have a system in the embassies that they set up to allow for some voting. I think the UK embassy has something similar during the election.
Well, the Electoral Commission said they were waiting for Parliament to pass a CI because that way they'll know the modalities in which they can enable these people to vote. I mean, Parliament is sitting currently, so we're not sure if that would be one of the key concerns.
If they bring it to their attention, and they have to look at it. Why not?
What do you make of the fact that the informal sector, still not largely captured on the Ghana card? It's a gradual process. Lai says that it's a gradual process, so we will get there. But then we have Revenue Ghana and the NAPCO that was supposed to be collecting these revenues and ensuring that we widen the tax net. We haven't seen much of that happening, have we?
You know, GRA did a presentation at the Ministry of Information about 3 months ago. And then they shared this slide that showed performance of revenue collection in all the regions, 2018 to 2021. And obviously, Greater Accra was the highest contributor. But Ashanti region, surprisingly, only did 1.24%, which means there's some inefficiencies in the collection of data. Having people on the Ghana card, GRA now having access to the Ghana card, it does increase the sample for the collection. But until they address the inefficiencies of collection, we'll still come back and be debating on low revenue mobilization. Because if you don't put in the administrative systems that go out and tax, they have this new mobile code for paying taxes. They should be communicating it out more so that people don't have to go to their offices to be paying. They can pay at their convenience when they have the money and not wait for the 27, 28 to file their taxes. They are not putting the message out there for people to know about it, but they have to do that. All the other avenues they've created, which is good innovation, all those new avenues they've created, they should let the Ghanaians know. And then these other regions that are underperforming, whether it's an issue of manpower in the regions or it's just poor collection, has to be resolved. Okay. Because you can't keep overburdening those in the formal sector, whilst those in the informal sector are allowed a freeway. Okay. And currently, there's a lot of stress in the system, and people are complaining. When I was coming, I think I heard some parliamentarians advocating that there should be some tax exemptions on cement or so. Day in, day out, we are hearing more tax exemptions, which goes back to affect our revenues. And we are complaining about our debt situation. So, I mean, let's address the fundamental issues in GRA. If it's administrative, if it's more investment, they need more manpower, support them to be able to address these shortfalls. Getting Ghana card and getting 150 million people migrated, you have their data, but what are you doing with their data? All right. Well, thank you so much. Unfortunately, time is up. We'll have to go. But quick one, happy birthday to Esther Bosompra, CEO of Extico Collections at Latebio Koshi. And just a reminder that if you're buying Camel antiseptic liquid, then you get to support the Camel Because We Care initiative with your 10 pesos to help a child with cancer. So for every bottle you buy, 10 pesos will be taken out and it will be given to the child cancer departments to take care of children living with cancer. This initiative is proudly supported by the 3 Foundation. And also, happy birthday to one of the greatest women that I know. This is Mrs. Case Kafui Kuma Apietu from Accra. I care. This is from a very special person. And also, Honorable Alfred Oko Vanderpoy, it's your birthday today. We celebrate you. Yes, God bless you so much and enjoy the rest of the day. This is also from your niece, Nala Miyoko. She's here with us, and also from the team and from Johnny especially. The earlier one was from Honorable Dafia Meko. And so thank you so much for joining us in the studio this morning. We're very grateful. Gabriela Tete is a member of the NDC Communications team, and we had the MP for Imneshi Amafo, Honorable Salai Tete, also joining us this morning. We have more coming up. And how do you like to have your abom? Is it with ripe plantain, with yam, or with what do you call the other one? Apim? That's what it's called, right? We'll be making a boom on the show today, and so look forward to it. But thank you so much for joining us. Then we said, hey, are you staying to enjoy some? You wish. We'll be back with sports, entertainment, and so much more. Stone Boy is joining us this morning, so please do not blink. We'll be back.
Hello viewers, I'm feeling very frustrated and bored in Sambulai. I'm very happy. If you don't understand, don't worry, because myself, I don't understand. Senior reporter for more details.
You know, I'm learning to yet make a blog. I'm not funny, I just said. Vodafone, I'm out quite set. Ultimate Senesika to Topia, Emily to Topia, Echo all the network. I will check couple. Me tissy Montezo. Diamond for Kenny.
Fifia, Mateo said, "Don't you put charges, man, on me."
See, the excitement for me is that I get to save a lot on Vodafone Cash.
Sending money on Vodafone Cash to all networks is now free. Send any amount of money as many times as you like to all networks for free. Dial *110# now to send money.
Any amount for Massimo.
Ashafunetefu, Mazizi, Malaria 360. Owomode, COVID-19 baby. Siahu yesho. Another what we get. No what you na jinjinde. Anyembia COVID-19 even a yenya. Another ye malaria. Na yezingwan, lukofondru ahodo. Nanso, eyinye kwampado. Mo hiani de bokwaya restabia. Na wachu mujaya shumude. Papon, konoku, ana malaria mwe mujema. Ye mangana ha. Siyahu papon, konoku, ana malaria mbo mujema. Edra aban ashanenso, doku malaria mbowa, lady sano. Man fawope in fedru. Mbra aban, koda to hodobo boye huban efi COVID-19 dunu. Didu pepepe. Sebo to malaria sa. Ojina emi na ewodu. Malaria 360. Malaria and seminara fee.
Dear Mother Earth, I am a 7-year-old girl from Africa. The droughts and floods you are causing are hurting us. My mother says you are fighting back because us humans are destroying you. The world leaders have promised to do something in 10 years. Do you think you can wait?
The earth will not wait for us. This is why at Fair Trade Africa, we believe that real change happens now. On behalf of 1.8 million farmers and their families whose livelihoods have been interrupted by climate change, we are urging world leaders to keep their promises. Stand with us and commit to combat climate change now rather than later.
Pepsodent Nature Essentials, charcoal, and essence restores natural white teeth, herbal extract for strong teeth and healthy gums, antibacterial toothpaste that protects you and your family, because every smile matters.
That's what I actually say. Property fridge there. Ekulu papa. Me fear hadie. Property near man kwana mi yusu. Esan se ma mi fear ha ye fene ma brabono so ye mrese. My property.
Mommy, I want ice cream.
So what the fridges?